Welcome back for another video. As the Game Week 1 deadline passed for the 2024-25 season, a record number of managers had signed up. What's really cool is more and more footballers are playing FPL as well. The game is bigger than ever. The question is, does being a professional footballer make you good at FPL? We're going to have a look at a bunch of their real FPL teams, and if you enjoy the original content, hit subscribe for more like this. Let's have a look at Jota's team first. He went Vicario, Zinchenko, Burn, Trent, Palmer, Salah, Bruno, Jota, Odegaard, João Pedro and Isak. He's in a league with Liverpool teammates, and also a league with past and present international teammates like Ruben Neves and Andre Silva. I couldn't find Ronaldo in FPL, so I guess he doesn't play. Jota got off to a flyer Game Week 1. He got 70 points with Vicario to play, and he did pick himself in his FPL team, and he captained Salah, who got 1 goal, 1 assist. Triple Liverpool, he went Trent at the back, who also did very well, and he went for Palmer as his second premium and former teammate Nico Williams on his bench. No Man City players. Anthony Gordon gave up halfway through last season and he finished 5.8 mil. He captained himself for his blank against Southampton. He also picked teammates Isak and Hall. He went no Salah and no Haaland for 51 points Game Week 1. Fabian and Schar won the Newcastle Players League last season, but it looks like he's not entered the team this season. He finished 1.3 mil. Gordon plays with teammates Gillespie, Target, Ruddy, Longstaff and Willock this season. Willock had an absolute mare. He bench boosted 0 points in Game Week 1. He had a bench of Turner, Wolfenden, Yarmouk and Ladapo. He did also pick himself, but he didn't play against Southampton, so another player down. I can only imagine the banter in the Newcastle group chat here. He's still got an allegiance to Arsenal. He always picks 2 or 3 Arsenal players. Last Newcastle player then, Kieran Trippier. He didn't start in Game Week 1 of course, with Livramento getting the nod, but he didn't pick himself anyway. He went for Pope, Paul and Isak as his Newcastle picks, and he actually smashed it, 73 points. Saka captain, Haaland vice. He took a chance on Robertson, who did start, and he went double Arsenal defence, so he got 5 clean sheets. Interestingly here, he's got Guehi on his bench as well. I wonder if Guehi's Newcastle bound, or if he's been tapping him up. If that transfer happens, he'll have 4 Newcastle players. If anyone doesn't know, you're only allowed 3 players per team max. And if a transfer happens like this, the next time you try to make a transfer, it forces you to sell a player from one of those teams that you're quadrupled up on, before you can sell anyone else. Fair play to Jack Stevens, who faced Newcastle Game Week 1, and he benched both Isak and Livramento against him, backing his team all the way. Or nearly backing himself all the way anyway, he also benched himself. Right decision, having finished with 1 point himself, getting booked on the stroke of half time. To be fair, if you are in FPL, even if you want a great pick, you've got to pick yourself, haven't you? How about Trent's team? He went Henderson, Saliba, Vardy, Robinson, Trent, Odegaard, Jota, Kudus, Salah, Haaland and Ings. A respectable 67 points, and he captained himself for 16 points, Salah vice-captain, and he tripled up with Jota as well, who scored. He also doubled up with City and Arsenal players, which is sensible. Trent usually gives up midway through the season. He actually hadn't played since the 21-22 season, but he's back for 24-25. Danny Ings was a bit of a bold pick, who's surely third choice striker behind Füllkrug and Antonio. Andy Robertson knew he was getting the nod despite Tsimikas looking a real possibility, and he did pick himself, along with Jota, and he captained Salah. I've got a bit of a background story in Robertson. So back in 2021, I had about 250 subscribers and even less followers on Twitter. And since FPL can be a saturated space, I've always been looking for opportunities to do something a bit different or unique. So back in 2021, I had a few footballers' FPL teams bookmarked, Robertson included. There was no central way to track them all at the time, so that's how I was doing it in my browser. And this tweet here about Robertson blew up at the time because Robertson sold Mane in his FPL team. 243 likes with about 100 followers at the time felt like a breakthrough moment. And as it played out, Mane was unexpectedly benched for Liverpool. And then after getting some traction on that tweet, I felt like I was actually getting somewhere in the FPL content space. And there's also a crazy story behind McGinn's FPL team name here, Jesus Garcia Pitage. It was the 2021 season, and a month after that Robertson tweet, someone built a bot tracking all the footballers' FPL teams. Target, Hourihane and Taylor and some Villa backroom stuff all sold Grealish when he was at Villa at the time, and this was way too much of a coincidence for them all to sell him. Dean Smith hadn't said anything about Grealish in his press conference. The tweet blows up, and Leicester manager at the time, Brendan Rodgers, admits he had heard rumours about Grealish from social media. Now Grealish went on to miss the game and Leicester went on to beat them 2-1. Dean Smith was absolutely furious in his press conference after. The first question the journalist asked him was about the FPL league, and he said, "It must be a slow news week if this is the lead manager's question." And he also said, "I don't play FPL, I live in the real world, not the fantasy world." The quote becoming an instant meme. Now the guy that built that bot actually cited the Robertson tweet as the reason he went on to build it. So the butterfly effect is actually hilarious when you think about it there. From me having Robertson's team bookmarked in my browser, to Dean Smith disrespecting FPL, and then also Pep saying it's unethical in his press conference later. Anyway, Villa's director of football at the time immediately bans all the Villa players from playing FPL. McGinn completely ignores him and he changes his FPL team to the director's name, and he's still got that name to this day. Love it. Semenyo's team next, and he actually picked himself, and he did score Bournemouth's only goal against Forest. I'm not sure about the Cancelo pick on his bench. He wasn't in City's squad, and surely leave him before the window closes. And he's got Trippier last on his bench as well, so he's got 5.5 mil and a 6 mil defender on his bench that didn't play. Raya and Vicario, a lot of money to spend on a goalkeeper pairing as well. He picked his old teammate Solanke, and he got a bit unlucky with Isak captain after the shared red card. Andy Carroll's heading into his 11th season playing FPL. You know when you're making a team, you've got to pick which team you support. Well, Carroll unsurprisingly picked Newcastle, which is where his career began. He went captain Salah for 24 points and a couple of Newcastle picks in Gordon and Isak. Like many of us, Andy fell into the Barco trap. He was an unused substitute game week 1. Fun fact about Carroll, for 13 years he held the record for the biggest price rise in FPL history, going from 5 mil at Newcastle when he scored 11 goals in 19, and he scored 17 in 39 the year before in the Championship. And then he went up to 10 mil when he signed for Liverpool, so a 5 mil price rise. Until a certain Cole Palmer came along with a rise from 5 mil with 244 points to 10.5 mil. 5.5 mil, now the biggest price rise in FPL history. Honourable mention to Kane, who went from 5 mil to 9.5 mil, and Mahrez, who went from 5.5 mil to 9.5 mil. Haaland's family and friends play FPL. Last season, controversially, all selling him before City played Luton when Haaland was injured and a popular captain, but his injury wasn't made public before the deadline, which was a very nice edge to have with that insider knowledge. They tend to captain him every week. This is Astor Haaland's team. Also picked Doku, who did start against Chelsea. Chris Smalling's had the best start of all the footballers, 79 points, and he's played FPL for a long time, including back in his Man United days. He's got a couple of top 100k finishes. Like many of us, he fell into the Kwanzaa trap, but he still managed a huge score overall. Double Arsenal defence, and he went Haaland over Salah, and he had Jota and Saka. And a very differential Welbeck pick, who did bag 12 points in the first game week. He's in a league with a few Roma teammates like Selic and Tammy Abraham. James Justin's one of the very few footballers that are actually very good at FPL. His last 6 ranks are 1.5k, 76k, 52k, 5.4k, 42k and 137k. On top of that, he always picks himself except when he's injured. He picked teammate Winks for game week 1, 60 points in total. No doubt he'll have another solid season. I wonder if he watches any FPL content. Lastly, Mo Salah's FPL team. So, was Salah Team Salah or Team Haaland? You're not going to believe it, but Salah is Team Salah. He went Raya, White, Robertson, Gabriel, Kulusevski, Garnacho, Salah, Jota, Maddison, Tony and Watkins. So 74 points with Akanji coming off his bench for Tony, who had 2 to play. He smashed it in game week 1. Triple Arsenal defence, incredibly bold, but it did work in game week 1. And he captained himself, of course, and also picking teammates Jota and Robertson. Just like Trent, Salah hadn't played FPL since the 21-22 season, but he's made a team for this season. He's in a league called the Hangers with teammates Jota, Robertson, Kelleher, Trent, Bradley, Pozesic and some staff. There's loads more that actually play FPL. If you go to my free site fpl.page, you can view the rest there. It's also in the iOS App Store if you search fplfocal. Android app still in the works, sorry Android gang. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed the original content. See you soon for the next one.